What is up, everybody? It is Broward Chaz, and in today's video I'm going to be teaching you guys what I look for when it comes to rebuilding a crashed motorcycle. Yes, I do this process on every motorcycle that I build to not only keep myself safe, protect myself as a shop owner. You know, if somebody gets hurt on a motorcycle after I'm done building it, obviously it's my responsibility, but to protect the owner of the bike. If you guys like the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, as well as share it with your friends and family. I would greatly appreciate it. Roll that intro. Peace. So guys, behind me is a 2023 Kawasaki Ninja 400 ABS, and this is probably the second or third time that I've rebuilt this bike. So this video is going to be a little bit different than my other videos. Most of my videos aren't very informative, but I do plan on making more informative videos for you guys due to the fact that now I have a well-lit area. I have a very nice, comfortable space where, you know, I can make videos and teach you guys things. But yeah, so I mean, this process, what I do when it comes to rebuilding a bike, it doesn't matter how bad a crash is. I'm very thorough and very pure when it comes to my work. And that's what I'm assuming separates me from the rest of the internet mechanics or content creator, influencer, mechanics. Not only am I a content creator and an influencer, but this is strictly what I do for a living. I buy motorcycles crashed, I rebuild them, I rebuild people's bikes, I work on my followers, family's bikes. I work on bikes. That's what I do for a living. But yeah, so I mean, the process of tearing these bikes down isn't super complicated. I know, like, if you're watching this video and you just wrecked your bike, heal first before you go straight into worrying about your bike. Remember, your arms and limbs aren't replaceable. Fairings and tires are. So yeah, the reason I check these bikes so thoroughly when it comes to them hitting the ground is because I just like to make sure, you know, that the frame is straight, you know, something isn't bent. You know, there isn't any hidden leaks on any hoses, any cracks in the cases, things like that. But yeah, let's get straight into tearing this bike down. Basically, what I start off by doing is taking the bike all the way down to frame. We're not going to be pulling the gas tank off of this bike because I already did that and already inspected it for leaks. It doesn't leak. But yeah, as of now, we're just going to be tearing down the fairings, checking over the frame, you know, checking wiring, making sure the wiring is okay, mounting up the headlight, because yes, the headlight did survive this wreck, thankfully. Not only that, the rider is perfectly fine, they're healed up. But yeah, let's get straight into it. So I like to have the bike about chest level, just because it's more comfortable to work. You know, any bike that you work on, you want chest level. You'll thank me in your 30s. So here she is in her, not glory, but in her crashed state. Sorry if you guys hear the fan in this audio. It is hot in this South Florida garage. But yeah, so I mean, this is the third time I've rebuilt this bike. This is just a little walkthrough of what happened. Everything is basically destroyed. Luckily, this is a female-owned motorcycle, but her cluster is okay. Her steering column's okay. Her forks appear to be okay, but that's the whole reason of this teardown. We like to tear the bikes down and make sure that everything on them is straight. So this bike has 14,550 miles on it. Yep. But she's straight piped because the stock exhaust did get ripped off in the crash. But here's the sound test. I'm not going to keep it on too long because I don't want to die in here from carbon monoxide or whatever monoxide poisoning. But yeah, let's go ahead and start tearing her down.
I'm gonna come back in you. And when I take the next step, I'm going to make it count. For my career, for my family, for my life. Because I'm
So guys, I want to show you what I had to just do. I had to pull the anger grinder out. I'm one of those mechanics that does things the right way, does things the proper way, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So I had to take an angle grinder and a flathead screwdriver, which you guys can see. I tried to grab these mirror bolts from underneath, right around there, but they're unable to be grabbed. These are cheap eBay bolts. I always tell people not to buy these bolts. As you guys can see, these things get rusted, they break off. It's literally just the worst bolt ever. So I had to take the angle grinder and I grinded 2 slits. Good thing is we have new mirrors and a new windscreen going on this bike when I do finally fix all the cosmetics on it. But as you guys can see now, I'm able to get these bolts out. So guys, now that we have the mirrors and the speedometer holding plastic fairing, whatever you want to call it, as you guys can see, that frame on the right side, well, that's not the frame, that's just the speedometer sub cage or hold cage. It has a small bend in the right side. Now, obviously, the handlebars aren't straight, but if you line up the main frame of the bike with the front stay bracket, if you want to call it that, you can see that there is a small bend in it. Now, the real way to tell if this is off is to mount the headlight. Like I said earlier in the video, luckily the headlight survived. It's sitting over there, so we're going to take that down and try to mount it up. But from the looks of it, as you guys can see, most of these mounting brackets, if you've built this bike before or when you build bikes, you know that some of them are angled, some of them are straight. You can't really tell until you go ahead and set something up on it. But this is my 3rd time rebuilding this bike, so I kind of know what it's supposed to look like. As you can see here, this is a metal bracket here. The left side of the bike is the side of the bike that took most of the impact when it was crashed this time. Again, that stator / flywheel case was cracked open. But yeah, I'm going to heat this up with a torch, bang it out, and hopefully the headlights are straight. If not, then we're going to have to get a brand new headlight bracket. So guys, as you can see from that small little clip I just showed you, once you put the headlight on the front of this bike, it is bent. So unfortunately, this whole front bracket is going to need to be replaced if I'm unable to get that bend out. Another tall tale of something being bent. If you look here, you guys can see that little bit of rust right there. Yes, the weld or the paint that originally there was cracked. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try to heat this up and bang it out, but unfortunately, if I'm unable to get this to bend out, then we're gonna have to go ahead and replace this whole front frame. So as you guys can see, the tail end of the bike is all wired up and straight now. After grinding, banging, doing 1,000 things to it, I was able to get it all set up perfectly fine. Now my microphone died, so the audio might not be as good, but anytime I do any type of wiring on a motorcycle, I try to keep as many OEM plugs as possible. Anytime you buy these cheap eBay turn signal lights, the wire colors never match up. So obviously we have green going to blue and black and pink and red and blah 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 blah. So yeah, I mean, I've done enough of these to kind of know what the cheaper colors convert to. But yeah, I got lucky on this one. But yeah, I mean, as of now, the tail is practically straight. I mean, without changing out the whole undersection and changing out the subframe. I did take the angle grinder and cut a V here to secure the bottom section to the subframe after bending it out, so that she's not going to have to replace this whole under plastic piece. But yeah, now we're going to work on the front. I have the front and back of this bike straightened out, I will be doing a part 2 video where I put the fairings on this bike, the completed build of this bike. But yeah, I mean, this is what the process is of taking a bike down after a crash. It's not always this complex. This is a very, very complex job. One of the most complex ones I've had in a while. I've done also a lot worse than this, but, you know, unfortunately, this bike was messed up. I mean, the subframe was torn to pieces, bent out of shape. I was luckily able to cut out some pieces of that subframe and bend back as much as I could, and it's pretty straight. The same thing with the front end, you know, that pivot point that's connected to the steering column or the stem, that's one of the strongest welds on a motorcycle, and that weld, to move that weld over and then re-tack it is just insane for me. So whenever I'm doing it, I always have trouble doing it. So I have to use like 10 different tools, hammer, mallet, vice grip, just every tool in the toolbox I have to use. But yeah, this is going to bring this video to a conclusion. If you guys like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, as well as share it with your friends and family. I would greatly appreciate it. I'll check back with you guys in the next one. Peace.